Rightio, episode 23.
23, mate. Michael Jordan made that number famous, and yeah, we got heaps to get through.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying myself, bro.
Bloody oath, mate. It's definitely the highlight of my week.
I'm having some fun, and we are stirring up a little bit of controversy on the gram.
We are. And the thing is no one can hurt us because we take the piss out of ourselves more than anyone else can.
Yeah, and look, while you've got this opportunity, give us a like, give us a share, comment as we go along on the episode, because we kind of need that little bit of reinforcement that we're doing a good job.
Yeah, that validation, you know. We need the likes. We need to see those little notification bubbles pop up so that we know that the interweb loves what we do.
Yeah, and we're doing our best to kind of promote everybody as we go along. So if you do have something that you'd like us to talk about or something that you think is worth us talking about, then send it in.
Yeah, so it's all love. We just want to put the spotlight on everyone in the broad community of barbecue. And, you know, as you say, we're foodies at heart, so it doesn't need to be barbecue. Just send us what's good and we'll fucking let you know.
Yeah, and on that, we have so many people to cover that we haven't even mentioned yet.
Oh, that's it. If your name hasn't been called, don't feel bad. We've got you coming up. We're just, you know, trying to get through festival season and juggle everything else going on in our lives, but we're going to get there.
Yep. All right. Well, let's just jump into the fuck up of the week, which is where we get started. And this one is not barbecue related, but it made me laugh.
We've all been there.
We have. This one was posted by Aussie B96, and she says, "My canned curry sauce exploded in my face."
I'm glad she put the curry sauce next to it because that could have been a backsplash.
Yes. Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. You went there.
That's all curry related, mate.
Okay. Before you start getting triggered in the comments, she didn't reheat it. The dent in the can occurred after said explosion. It was at room temperature and it was sealed. She didn't receive any burns and she didn't even get to eat the curry. But the roof did and the side walls did.
It looks like she's got lasagna ready to go there for a backup meal. She's got the mince and the dolmio, so she's obviously got the shits with the curry.
Yeah, there's no curry for dinner. A lot of people said in the comments that this is generally what happens when something goes off inside a can.
I've witnessed it. We heard a bang one Christmas Day and couldn't figure out what it was. A couple of days later, we could smell beer. And yeah, during the heat of the summer, a couple of beer labels, beer cans that I designed were in my father-in-law's bar and gotten too hot. They were about 5 years old and yeah, the beer cans exploded.
Wow, and that was the explosion.
Yeah, that was the popping noise, but we couldn't figure it out. We thought it was a balloon.
Okay, this is the end outcome. I love the comments. I really do. Pudding Fun says, "Keep calm and curry on."
It's such a British thing to say.
And Ring Rays said, "It was a ticker time bomb."
She's turned into an instant ginger.
So she said that she took all these photos to send to the company to explain what happened because, I don't know, maybe she wants them to pay for the cleaning on the roof.
Well, that's it. And also just make them aware of what potentially can happen. You know, put a warning on there saying, do not let this expire.
Yeah, and that could have been what happened, right? Who knows? The can might have had a tiny little hole in it or something like that, and it's gone off in the can, but who knows what happened. But I'm glad she is okay.
I'm just glad she wears glasses too because it saved her, bro.
That would have been a lot of curry in the eyes.
Yeah, not a fun time.
Okay, next one.
Is this the aftermath of that pig on the spit?
So this one gets super complicated and you're going to have to bear with me here because it was posted by John Mark to Facebook and he goes, "This is your occasional fire safety post. I learned the hard way on Friday. Make sure your smoker is a good distance from your wicker couch, cardboard boxes. Yes, I know I'm an idiot. Yes, the smoker's okay." And what are we looking at?
Yeah, got his smoker too close to the weatherboards there and the whole thing's gone up. He's very lucky that the house is still standing, really.
Get right into the roof.
Bloody oath it did. He's running it hot.
Look, I get a bit inquisitive, right? And there's a little more to this story that I think. So the guy, John Mark, who made the post, he never commented on any of the questions. And people obviously, from what you can see, had a ton of questions about what happened. And then when you go to look at his profile, it's a fake profile.
Yeah, right. That looks like a lounge chair that's caught on fire there too. So that's the accelerant.
My guess is here, this had nothing to do with the smoker. It's just a convenient story that maybe AI has made up.
He's just Traeger bashing, mate.
Well, is it a Traeger?
Yeah, that's their chimney.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the internet is about to be flooded with AI-related content from fake users because the guy that posted it is not real. He didn't reply to a single comment and his profile looks as fake as they come. I don't know. Is AI trolling the internet for photos and creating fake stories?
Well, you're the one that keeps feeding all the info into ChatGPT, mate, so you tell me.
Well, there's more about this later. So let's keep moving on to videos of the week, and we only have one this week. You ready?
Ready. This is a good time.
This is pretty cool, hey?
Super cool.
Okay, this was posted by Ocean Ian Hit, and the caption, all it had was emojis of the Tongan flag, a palm tree, and a 100 symbol. So this is in Tonga. So Tonga is a little country in the Pacific Islands, is that right?
I believe so, yes.
So what we're looking at here is about 24 suckling pigs on rotisseries, and that's it. I don't really know much else about what's going on here, but they're ready for a feast.
I think Tonga's a kingdom too.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely getting ready for a big royal feast there over in the kingdom, I believe. But yeah, there's lots of pigs going on there. And I think they're all native too.
The pigs?
Yeah.
They're native to Tonga.
I'm pretty sure too in the Cook Islands, they have a cook-off over there and they actually do 3 different types of pigs and they're all different varietals which are native to the different islands over there. So, I mean, if you know, let us know. I could be completely wrong. I have been known to not let the truth get in the way of a good story. But yeah, I do believe that pigs over there are native.
Right. And this looks like some serious business because a couple of these guys have got high vis on. One guy's actually got a hat on.
Yeah.
Like a safety helmet.
Yeah, bloody oath. He's just come straight from the work. He could be on smoko, mate, literally.
All right, let's move on. It's bark or burn.
It's back.
It's back.
Bark or burn is back.
We've got ourselves into a bit of trouble over time with our guesses of bark or burnt because people have called us out in the comments.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, we're always wanting to be enlightened on the truth. Yeah, there's a fine line sometimes though.
Yeah, and I feel like it can be debatable sometimes.
Definitely.
And that's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Especially if it's your personal cook. I mean, you're going to defend it till the end.
Well, we're only looking at a photo at the end of the day. We're not eating it, so we've only got half the picture.
Exactly.
Okay, first one.
To me, that's bark.
This was posted by Very Derrison on Reddit, and he titled this post, Brisky Business. He says this is a 14-pound Costco choice brisket, smoked in an offset, foil boated at 180, pulled off at 205, rested overnight in an oven set at 170F, and this is brisket as good as it gets.
Yeah, a lot of the guys will tell you that the secret to a good brisket is that holding temperature at the end. If you can hold it for about 12 hours minimum in a stable environment, it's the key.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, keeping it wrapped in some tallow or something like that will help keep all the moisture in there. Resting is so important, but so is holding it to some guys.
Yeah, well, a lot of people kind of hold it for a couple of hours to 4 hours, but I think the new kind of secret, and I think a lot of barbecue restaurants in America are using this right now, is it's a 24-hour rest.
Yeah.
Okay, that is definitely not burnt. That is beautiful bark, and it is a fantastic looking brisket. Well done, Very Derrison. So next.
I'm going to go with bark again.
Yeah, I think you'd be right. It was posted by Ability Dizzy, and he titled this one, My First Pork Belly. He said he followed a recipe from Chud's Barbecue on YouTube, and I think he's done a banging job here. This looks spot on.
Yeah, I like it.
So if anyone hasn't had barbecue before, if you looked at that photo on the left there, you'd swear that's burnt, right?
Yeah, you definitely would. I mean, the first time I saw black rubs on the market too, I sort of thought the same thing. It's what we look for.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think it's barbecue without good bark.
No, it's that fine line of getting a nice bark and then the tender juiciness inside. So
yeah, I agree. All right, last one.
Oh, that's a this is a doozy. Every Australian has eaten this meal, and it's been their dad, who's probably in his 60s now, that has cooked it. If it's anything like my dad, you've got 2 choices, this or fucking raw. But that's burnt.
So this was posted by Shad Calm, and he titled it, Is This Too Burnt? And what we're looking at here is a heap of chicken wings and sausages, and I've got to say, yes, there's parts of this dish that is too burnt.
But it's definitely not inedible. And I tell you what, burnt sausages cold the next day are fucking unreal.
I agree with you. But one of the comments summed it up for me perfectly, right? And they said, burnt if I'm paying, perfect if I'm not. That makes a lot of sense, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
If you go to a family cookout and you get that, that's standard practice.
Yeah.
You go to a restaurant and you'd be probably sending it back as it's burnt. But at a family cookout,
you can tell this has been cooked on one of those big brick built-in barbecues with the solid steel plate that you flip down once the flames have died. Bit of canola oil or VB, whichever way you're inclined, to season the grill. A few too many beers, distractions, bit of yard cricket in between flipping the snags, and that's what happens.
Yeah. And I feel like those big, thick steel plate barbecues, they've only got one heat, and that's bloody hot.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Moving on, dishes of the week. Now, I'm going to go back onto this AI rant that I've been on recently, and this one was posted by a Facebook group called Recipes Food, and they've got 7,000 followers. This dish here that you can see is a pie, a meat pie, and it says, "My grandma has been making this for as long as I can remember. It's a staple at family gatherings. Don't judge it by its appearance. To consider receiving my recipes, type yes in the comments."
I have seen this pop up a few times. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is AI just taking popular images, finding buzzwords, and producing this garbage.
So grandma doesn't exist because this was cooked by a pitmaster in Australia called Boomer, who features on a lot of our episodes, right? But let's get a bit more into this because this is the AI-generated image of the person that runs the page, which is obviously fake or it's a stolen photo. The irony of all this is I don't understand the point because the last 20 posts where they steal content and recipes from other people, it hasn't got a single like, not a single comment.
Yeah, the game's up.
So what's the point?
That's it. Oh, it's probably still on generation mode.
I have a feeling, though, that AI is going to swamp the internet with a lot of fake recipes and fake pictures of recipes. I'm starting to see it pop up more and more. But I don't get the point because maybe you're right. Maybe the jig's already up and they've only just got started.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe John Connor's, very upset with us making friends with technology once again.
Okay. Now, this is a good segue onto Boomer. So he was the guy that created the pie that was stolen and used on that Facebook page. And let's have a chat about him.
He's also the guy with that awesome fat fire. So I'm asking for it, aren't I?
You are. So when he's not busy cleaning his pit to make you happy, he's busy making a ton of awesome food. But where I feel like he's really excels is in his pies, in the creation of his pies. So what's a pie for those playing at home?
A pie is basically, I don't think you have to have any sort of specific filling, but it's usually in a pastry base with a pastry lid. Here in Australia, that's what makes up a pie, and whatever you want to put inside it. It's sort of a meal you can eat on the go.
Yeah, so popular in Australia, popular
Massive.
in the UK as well, Canada, and even South Africa gets into the pie game.
Don't mention pies to the Kiwis because they hands down have the best pies in the world and they will fight you for it.
So I feel like the pie, the humble meat pie, is being transcended by people like Boomer and others where they're adding smoked meats into the pie. And I feel like this transcends the pie to just another level. Like pies are already good, let alone put smoked meat in the pie. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to skip through some photos of pies that Boomer has created, and some of them just look spectacular. And again,
a Reuben pie.
It's a Reuben. That's amazing, right? So getting super creative, adding smoked meats, and some of them look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so good.
That's a chicken one, I'm going to say.
It's got apple in it too, by the look of it. It's pork and apple, bro.
Pork and apple.
That's chicken and gravy. That's the jalapeno cheese one. That's the one we featured, isn't it? That's the winner.
Yeah, I think that's the one that we featured on episode 1. It's a fantastic looking pie, but this is his latest creation, and it's leftover brisket, cheese, and jalapeno. That looks stunning to me.
No, it's good. He's almost taken it too far, though. Like, these pies are so full, you've nearly got to use cutlery. Like, that's going to ruin your shirt, bro.
I'm going to say he's just doing them this full for the photo, right?
Yeah.
In reality, if he was going to make them not for a photo, I'm sure he wouldn't stuff them full of this much meat. I will say this. There are some moments in my life where food has stopped me in my tracks and where wouldn't say it's a life-changing moment, but you were like, wow, where did this come from? Where has this been all my life? And the first time I ever had a brisket pie from Full Throttle, it was one of those moments for me. And if you get a chance and you see someone that has a brisket pie with a bit of cheese and jalapeno in it, don't muck around, get one.
Run, don't walk.
Yeah, and this pie looks every bit as good as what I've had at Full Throttle. And I will say, I haven't had one of Boomer's pies yet, but I bloody want to.
Yeah, hopefully he brings some to meat stock one day.
Hopefully, one day we get to try one of these pies because they look spectacular.
Bloody oath, I'm hungry now.
All right, failed or nailed. It's one of my favourite segments. I love it.
I'm glad it's in every episode.
It's just kind of easy for me to find these photos as we're trolling through the gram. And they kind of photos where you're like, I don't know if this is good or bad. Yeah. And we sort of save and sort of share in one little group here. But I'm going to bring them up and instantly, because some of them you've seen, some of them you haven't. But you're going to say failed or nailed on the get-go based on an instinctual reaction.
Righto, let's go.
Stumped you.
Nailed. It's a marshmallow.
So this was posted by Mag Rat Bastard, and it says, my friend is refusing to tell me what this is, and I am wrecking my brain trying to figure it out.
That was me at first, and now I'm just like, wait a minute, that's a marshmallow. I don't know if he's put peas in it or something, but yeah, it's a good gooey marshmallow, and there's not much burntness on there.
So everyone in the comments pretty much universally agreed that this was a melted marshmallow, and when I did troll through the comments, the original poster did confirm that those two little things on the top are melted white chocolate chips on top.
Yeah, right. With the baking paper there, it implies that he's done it in the oven to stop that burnness that you always happen when you do them over the open fire.
I'm going to say maybe the air fryer too.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't know.
Okay, next.
Oh, that's fucking nailed.
This is so simple yet so cool.
Yeah, meat and potatoes. That's all you need.
So this was posted by Di Bruno Bros, and it says, this is a new favourite party food, and it's prosciutto and crisps mixed together in a bowl.
So good. When I used to travel through Spain, they used to actually do like a jamon flavour kettle chip. So it was already this sort of flavour in the bag. But I'm all about that, mate. I just put that through into a big baguette and just...
It's such a cool flavour combination. And when you double up on the carbs like that, it's probably even better with a bit of bread. So what they did say was the secret to this is to use top quality prosciutto and to make sure that it's thinly sliced.
Awesome. And the carbs just hit different in Europe. Like you can smash all the white bread you want and it just doesn't bloat you.
Someone in the comments said, this is begging for some goat's cheese, and someone else says it needs some smoked honey. I reckon that would set this dish over the top.
I reckon that's one for the menu, mate.
I reckon maybe on next week's episode, we give this a crack and we add the goat's cheese and we add some smoked honey.
Let's do it.
So I guess we'll find out next week whether it's any good or not.
And it's an absolute nailed.
Okay, next.
Nailed.
What is it?
It's Doritos flavored gelato.
Okay, so it's by Babe Gelato in Brazil, and it's Doritos with ice cream.
I'm all about that sweet savory combo, mate.
So do you remember not that long ago, we did an episode where you mixed some ice cream with hot sauce, and it was a bit of a revelation, and we both loved it?
Yeah.
So the other day, I'm in our kitchen, the studio kitchen, and I've got some ice cream left over. And I'm surrounded by rubs, right? Because we've got bloody rubs everywhere. And I thought, I wonder if barbecue rubs and ice cream would go really well. It doesn't work.
No, I don't know if you were ever like me as a kid and tried salt on ice cream. It doesn't really work either.
Doesn't it?
No.
But it goes great on popcorn. It goes great on other things. I even went as far as to get Tuffy Stone's sweet rub because I thought maybe a sweet rub would go with the ice cream. But no, that was not good either.
Yeah, no, the heavy salt content's really going to affect that calcium, not be too pleasant.
Well, you think it's a win, but I'm going to guess Doritos flavoured ice cream's not, but maybe we'll never know.
I'm going to make it.
You're going to make it?
Bloody oath I am.
All right, we've got two dishes. Are you going to do both next week?
How about we put the Doritos ice cream on top of the bloody crisps?
Okay, let's keep moving on here.
I'm going to say that is nailed because of the effort that's absolutely gone into that.
So there's a lot to unpack here, and what we're looking at is a Meatloaf castle posted by Copious Coffee. It looks like it was for a birthday party or something like that, and it's 20 pounds of meatloaf, half beef and half pork. And one of the comments pointed out, look at that glorious mashed potato moat.
Yeah, and it's full of the celery and the carrot sticks there, so you can sort of just dig away at it. But yeah, she's got a ladle here. I reckon she's going to pour some gravy off the top there and it's going to fill up into that mashed potato.
I think that might be the plan.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. If she did put a whole heap of gravy into that mashed potato moat, that would be the ultimate, right?
Yeah, she's got the Glad wrap down to make sure it doesn't make too much of a mess.
So this is a little bit of the behind the scenes. This is the before shot.
Yeah, right. Some assembly required.
Okay, I'm a bit weirded out, so I'm going to move on here.
That's nailed. It's just they've microwaved it and they just haven't flattened it down yet.
So it was posted by A Skittle and it was called Block O Udon. And he says, I bought udon noodles to go from a restaurant yesterday and it came in a small cardboard box. I put that cardboard box in the fridge for another day. I go to eat dinner, tip it out, and this is what it looks like. I'm guessing it was just about to go into the microwave.
Yeah, you can't normally microwave those little cardboard boxes if they've still got the steel handle on them. Yeah, all that needs is a bit of work from Chef Mike, and it's going to be a nice little palatable dinner.
Yeah, it is a visually interesting image, though.
It is. It's better than some of that bloody nursing home food with furniture.
Okay, talking points. So you sent me this one, and it is glorious.
And what's even more glorious is the information that came with it. That's a hanger steak, yeah?
Yeah, so it was posted by the Butcher Shop in Cannon Hill in Queensland, and it says, check out the marbling on our MB5 Ranges Valley Wagyu skirt steak, only $18 a kilo.
That was the reason I sent it to you, because I couldn't believe the price. Like $18 a kilo for any sort of cut of beef at the moment is bloody awesome.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of skirt steak, right? It's a quick cook, it's somewhat cheap, goes great on tacos, but I love to serve it sliced over fries with a bit of peppercorn sauce.
Sounds bloody good, mate. It's getting too close to dinner time to be talking about this.
Okay, next one. So you sent me this one.
This is a truth bomb. This is beef Wellington is just a corn dog from a different socio-economic background.
I've got to say the photos do look somewhat similar.
They do. But yeah, beef Wellington, corn dog. Yeah, I'd smash either.
Okay, next. So this one's been going on for a while, and I have a feeling it's going to go on for a while yet. So our friend, Wayne Dill, he's making a barbecue helicopter because you mentioned it on the podcast and he decided he was going to make it. And then he asked us to ask you guys to help him name the barbecue helicopter. So we've got a couple of favorites that we wanted to share.
Yeah, I still haven't learnt that the things I say have repercussions.
So Daryl says Tomahawk down. Not a
That's
bad
a good one.
Jazzy says Air Force done.
Another good one.
Mm. And Macca says black pork down.
That's also good. All sort of along the same sort of theme.
Yeah, same theme. I think there's not many ways to skin this cat. So we'll let Wayne decide what he decides to call this helicopter, but we've got some good ideas for him, I think, here.
And I'm pretty sure this thing is well and truly in the build stage.
Yeah, I haven't seen a CAD. He said he was getting a CAD done, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Oh, well, Wayne, send it through. Come on, mate.
Okay. What are we looking at here?
We are looking at something absolutely amazing. If you're into pork, this is probably the origin you want to go to.
So I'm just going to zoom in here now. This was posted by Food is the Best Shit Ever. That's his name. The man behind the account is Graham, otherwise known as Big Red, and he's a pitmaster from Australia. And this photo is from restaurant Botine. He had the suckling pig, which they're famous for. And don't quote me, but I think this is the oldest known surviving restaurant in the world.
Yeah, according to the Guinness World Records, it is the world's earliest restaurant. If you want to go to a place and eat a suckling pig, there's obviously no way you can get it unless you pre-order it. So these guys have done all the prep, basically pre-cooked it till nearly fully done, and then they're just going to reheat them to serve. I reckon it would be an absolute amazing experience.
Yeah, pretty cool. So it's seasoned with onion, garlic, bay leaves, salt and pepper, and white wine, and then roasted in terracotta dishes in an old wood-fired oven.
Sounds epic.
Does, doesn't it? So the place in question first opened their doors in 1725, so 300 years, and 300 years later, Big Red from Australia, he got the chance to visit.
Yeah, so good. And basically what we were talking about last week, Big Red is the type of guy that bases his holidays around eating too. So it's all research for him, and he comes home and applies all his inspiration to his restaurant there with his family, and they have a bloody good time.
Now, part of me is so jealous to see other people traveling and eating because that's like my thing. I love it to death. But every time I see someone doing it and sharing their experiences of cuisine around the world while they're traveling, it just inspires me to do it more.
Bloody oath.
So Big Red says, that pig was one of the most delicious renditions of roasted porcine glory that I've ever tasted. That's a pretty glowing review.
It is. The man's wrapped his lips around some hogs, so he'd know his stuff.
Okay. On to something that might divide the room. Let's have a watch. What are we looking at here?
We're looking at a giant, big cured seafood terrine by the look of it. So you've got salmon, some white flesh fish, some pink fish, more white fish, and salmon on the top. Yeah, it just looks cured. Pickled baby octopus and some gelatin in the top, and Yeah.
So this was posted by Tanya Privoz on Instagram. I've turned the volume down because I have no idea what she's saying anyway, but it's a cake of 5 different types of fish. I think it's in Ukraine. This lady has 500,000 followers.
I'd definitely give it a crack. I do love my seafood and my cured fish and that sort of thing. But yeah, some people look at that and be absolutely mortified.
Do you reckon it's smoked at all?
It does look a bit smoked on the outside there. It could also be the cure, but it's not cooked, that's for sure.
Okay, moving on. Mailbox, we've got some mail.
Yeah, this is becoming regular too. I'm happy about that.
So we love a bit of mail. So if you've got any ideas for things that we should talk about on the show, send them in, drop us a DM, give us your thoughts, and we talk about them on the show. It's pretty easy, right?
Bloody oath.
Okay, this one was sent to us by Ben Mahoney. He's a well-known and talented butcher from Australia. So Ben asks us what a good barbecue binder would be. So a mustard binder or no binder. What are our thoughts on binder or no binder? Have you got an opinion?
Your choice of binder is just as important as yes or no. If you're going to use mustard, you got to remember that mustard is an acquired taste and quite intrusive, so it's going to translate through. I mean, you could use a barbecue sauce, something like that, if you want to use a binder, but it all depends what you're setting out to achieve. If you're doing a pastrami or something like that, you do want to have a nice flavoursome bark. Sometimes too, if your meat quality's not there and your rub's not really tacking to it, that's also where a binder kicks in too. But it all comes down to, taste and flavour and that sort of thing. Some people believe too that sometimes a binder can stop the amount of smoke that penetrates the meat and that sort of thing.
Wow, I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, well, there's the story that if you use olive oil will actually stop smoke penetration. So there's all sorts of science out there, but it definitely comes to personal taste. And if you were going out and getting some nice Wagyu beef ribs or whatever, I wouldn't go sticking a mustard binder on them. You really want the meat to do the talking.
It's debatable whether you can taste it after it's cooked, but I do feel with mustard you can taste it.
You definitely can. I like the taste. We're going to do some experiments in a couple of weeks with the old binder theories.
I'm all for binder. Sometimes when you've got a piece of meat and it feels kind of like, it's the wrong word, but wet enough, I don't use a binder. But sometimes it's a bit drier and you do need a binder. And I'm all for binders. You can use mustard, Worcestershire, any oils. To be honest, I do use olive oil. That's what I normally use because it's what's in my cupboard. I didn't know about the anti-smoke thing. But I do know Tuffy Stone, he uses peanut oil.
Yeah, right. I'm a big fan of olive oil and fresh rosemary whenever I'm doing anything with lamb. But I've never had a problem with using olive oil or anything like that. So yeah, it all just comes down to personal taste, and the fun is in the experimenting and figuring it out. So
yeah, I think so too. Okay, art by Sigh. We're on a roll. We've never missed an issue of one of your pieces of artwork. So tell us a little bit about this one.
Yeah, so this is for a good mate of mine, the Wolf of Eat Street. He's a competitive eater. He gets around and does a lot of good restaurant reviews and things like that. Loves his all-you-can-eat wings and that sort of thing. And this was a bit of merch I came up for him. Yeah, it depicts him as the hungry wolf with all his favourite things. He's got the hot ramens, the desserts, the barbecue, the big burgers, the hot gummies and that sort of thing. And yeah, these were some of the nicest printed T-shirts I've ever worn there for a while, and had to dig in the archives to find this one. Yeah, there's a few pieces that I'm not ready to shine the light on just yet, but we'll get there.
What's the hot gummy reference?
So there used to be an eating challenge out there. It was a gummy bear that was laced with basically just chili extract, and it was a couple of million Scovilles.
But wouldn't you just down it and then deal with it later? And that would
was
be
the
pretty
problem.
easy. Okay.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
But it was a big one. Like, it was a proper big gummy bear.
I have heard a secret in some of the hot eating challenges, especially with chilies, is you just down them. You don't chew them.
Yeah. That's sometimes it's just like, don't make it the mouth's problem, make it the stomach's problem.
Yeah, but you're going to deal with that later on.
Bloody oath. Especially once the stomach acid reacts with it. It's not going to be fun.
Okay. Barbecue backyards. It's been a while since we've featured a good barbecue backyard, and this one caught our eye.
That's the mad mullet right there, flexing his Oklahoma Joe range.
So this is Sean Kestel, and he posted this one on Instagram, and it's titled, "How Good is Family Time?" We all don't get together, but when we do, it's so much fun. And he is in his backyard here with what looks to be a kind of like a parking lot of barbecues.
Yeah, it's like the Oklahoma Joe's showroom, really. I mean, he's got them all. I've never seen half of those models, but yeah, Googsy's definitely a brand ambassador for those guys, and he can cook, bro.
Yeah, well, he's got a Rambler, a Blackjack, a Workstation, a Firecraft, a Highland, a Longhorn, a Bandera, and a Bronco Pro.
Jesus.
I can't believe I said all that.
One take Beaumont.
So this isn't a backyard. This is more like a parking lot for barbecues.
Bloody oath it is.
Pretty cool, though.
Super cool.
All right, Pitbuilders. So when we were in New Zealand, we stumbled on something that was really, really, really cool. And we've been wanting to talk about it, but tell me about it.
Yeah, so this is from Carbon Metal Works in Taupo, which is just down the road from Meatstock Hamilton. And this is their smoker they called the Hurt Locker. And this thing is, it's a giant big cabinet smoker, and it's sort of gone a bit off the theory and I guess the engineering of the drum smokers, where you have the intakes that draw right down the fuel source at the bottom. And these guys have taken what they've seen and pretty well evolved from it. So they've got giant big double door cabinet. That middle bar actually comes out and you can put different shelving in case you want to do whole hog. And the thing I like about this one, which you don't get with a lot of the drum smokers and that sort of thing, is the fuel can be accessed from the back of the smoker. So if you need to top up, you don't need to stop your cook, which if you've got a drum or something like that, you've usually got to take everything out if you've got to top up your fuel. So these guys have sort of thought about the problems they've faced with previous devices, nailed it. Even this guy's CAD drawings were insane. And these guys cooked on this at Meatstock and had a pretty good weekend, I think, and bloody good lads too.
It is cool. So it's a fully insulated upright cabinet smoker. It weighs a ton. It has a double skin perimeter with ceramic fiber insulation for maximum heat retention and fuel efficiency. It only uses 10 kilos of lump charcoal every 5 hours, and it has a capacity to cook 120 kilos of meat over 4 racks.
That's amazing. But yeah, these guys were pretty stoked to meet us at the old Meatstock Hamilton there and talk us through it. And yeah, I was very impressed. It was a super beautiful build. Yeah, any problems they sort of faced, like they couldn't figure out what sort of handles they wanted to use. So they just went to the local home heating store and took some handles off a fireplace. And, these things are already out there existing. So why not use what's already there?
It's really, really cool. So I just love seeing people try new stuff, make new stuff, build new things. And I think it was really well built and it was cool.
Yeah, that's it. And these guys are passionate pit builders too. So you're going to see more of these sort of creations, I reckon.
The Hurt Locker. I love the name too. Okay, on the menu. I'm hungry.
Well, I'm sorry to say, bro, I can't fucking fix that.
Well, maybe you can a little bit. What the hell is going on here?
Okay, so we've basically jumped on the tallow bandwagon, and I saw a recipe a couple of weeks ago for beef tallow cookies. So I got myself some Tassie tallow and took a chocolate chip cookie recipe and made myself some maple bacon choc chip cookies with beef tallow instead of butter.
So you're really doubling down here. Not only are we using the tallow, but you're adding bacon and maple syrup into cookie recipe.
And cooking it in the smoker.
Right, okay. Let's talk through the process here a little bit. So you're obviously browning off the bacon.
Yeah, so I'm just sort of not really cooking it. I still wanted the bacon to stay nice and soft. I just wanted to emulsify some of that maple flavour in there. Adding the maple syrup to the bacon there, I wanted to keep the bacon nice and soft. While that's going on, we've got the tallow and the sugar in the mixer, getting that all creamy before we add the flour, basically just building our cookie dough from that. There it is, nice little creamy texture. Added the bacon, added the flour, got the chocolate chips in there.
That's
mate.
A weird look there. You've got the bacon and the chocolate chips going in together.
Yeah, that's it. Also, too, we've probably learnt by now I don't really measure things. I just chuck it all in. But yeah, there's the cookie dough. It came out beautifully as normal. It felt like a normal cookie dough. So I've rolled it out. I've wrapped it in Glad Wrap and I've chucked it in the fridge to set so that it sort of continues to, I guess, mix its flavours together. Then I've chopped them out. I've cooked them in the Traeger. They were fucking shit house.
What do you mean?
Well, I got them, I let them cool down. I did the thing. And the thing I love about a chocolate chip cookie is when the butter and the sugar emulsifies together and you get that flavour. The tallow replaces the butter in the fact that it does the same thing in the baking process with the science, but the flavour's just not there.
So let me get this right. You've made these things. You've eaten them at home. You've decided they're no good, but you didn't want to bring them in, but I'm making you.
I was not impressed, but we'll always showcase our fails because I don't want someone out there to go and spend $30 on a jar of tallow, follow this recipe and realise that it's shit. But yeah, tallow is definitely the buzzword at the moment and it's awesome for some things, but for me, I don't think it should replace butter when butter is a flavoured component.
Okay. So can I eat it?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So this is what they look. I mean, they look pretty bloody good. I can see what you mean.
There's everything there. You just get that real tallowy mouthfeel, don't you?
There's nothing wrong with the bacon. There's nothing wrong with the choc chips. There's nothing wrong with the recipe, but the mouthfeel of the tallow is actually not pleasant.
And it's just really lacking flavour because there's no caramelisation in there. Like the tallow has mixed with the sugar, but it hasn't emulsified. So this is all just personal taste too, by the way. If you like it, good on you, but it ain't for us.
Yeah, I'm going to notch that up as a bit of a fail. But you know what? If you don't try, you never know.
That's exactly right.
Have you ever seen a recipe of someone that's done beef tallow cookies before?
I have. I've been sent a couple, and obviously they just say they're awesome because they're probably selling tallow. But yeah, I'm glad I gave it a try. I don't think you can beat butter at the end of the day anyway. If I had to choose between tallow and butter, I'm going with butter.
Well, not in choc chip cookies anyway.
No.
Choc chip bacon cookies.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
All right, let's go on to the end of the show. It's the encore. I'm going to pull up a photo and you're going to tell me what the hell's going on.
Righto.
You ready?
Let's send it, mate.
Full send.
I like it. It wouldn't be too aerodynamic on the lake and, it wouldn't be very stable. But if shelter's what you're after and that's all you've got on board, then go for it.
So it was posted by Code Trucks on Instagram and it just had the caption, cool. So what are we looking at here?
So basically we've got an old boat and the old back of an RV or a caravan welded onto it so that it's pretty well a floating trailer.
Someone in the comments called it a hillbilly houseboat.
I can relate to that.
And Smitherson on Cody said it's a boaterhome.
That's a good one, the old boaterhome.
Yeah, and a lot of people got shitty in the comments like, oh, it's too top heavy. Whatever, it's fun.
That's it.
And I did get sidetracked on this one for quite some time and I have nothing to show for it, right? Because somebody said, well, what am I going to put on the back of my truck? Because obviously they've used the motorhome part that you would put on the back of a truck on top of the boat. So someone chimed in the comments and said, well, duh, a jacuzzi. So I spent a lot of time on AI trying to convince it to make a pickup truck with a jacuzzi in the back, towing a boat with a motorhome on top, but it just couldn't get it right.
Yeah, right. I've seen the redneck jacuzzis where they just put the tarp in the back and fill it up with water. That's always a good time.
Well, look, 10 points for trying.
Bloody oath.
All right, done.
That's
Episode
it.
23.
23's out, mate.
We've had a busy couple of weeks. We've obviously been doing the meat stocks in between these episodes and damn. Like, it's been a wild ride.
Also, too, with all the meat stocks in the rear vision mirror, things are only going to get better. We got heaps of inspiration.
Yeah.
And obviously, once the meat stocks slow down a bit, we're going to have a lot more time to prepare a bit better for these episodes, get you through the winter and all the cooks coming up and that sort of thing, and summer in the US. And yeah, it's going to be a bloody good time, mate.
Yeah. So if you got through this far in the video, smash us with a like, leave us with a comment because congratulations to you for putting up with us for nearly an hour.
Bloody oath.
I will say we have so many people to feature, but it takes time to research people and to do them justice. So, and we've been a bit time poor, like you say. So sometimes it feels like we're kind of rushing through these episodes a little bit, but we're determined to do one episode every week. And
Bloody
we're going to
oath
do that until we hit 100 episodes. And then we can obviously readjust what we do. But man, we're just not stopping.
No, that's good. And also buy some merch.
Yeah, hurry up and buy some merch. So down below, if you're watching on YouTube or go to our YouTube, have a look in the description and there's a link to our merch, our under-season T-shirts.
Yep, bloody oath. Hoodies there for the winter coming up. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Cool. See ya.